Okay. The rumor mill is spinning. It's a lot of stuff going on. I was going to wait to do a video about it, but it would have took too long. So I decided to say it live before the story actually breaks that I'm hearing Eric Gomez, Roberto Diaz has left Golden Boy Promotions. That's what I heard. It's just something I heard. And Golden Boy Promotions president, Eric Gomez, is contemplating leaving as well. He's contemplating leaving. And that currently there's a mass exodus at Golden Boy, and the company might. I'm not going to say they are, because that's not what I've been told. But the company might be finished. What it do, Michael? What it do, Bass? What it do, Ma? What it do, Decent? What it do, Old Dirty? Those of you that are familiar with Roberto Diaz, y'all know him as a good dude, good matchmaker. And the rumor mill says that he's leaving Golden Boy. And just a lot of what's been going on at Golden Boy the last couple of weeks is said to be not very good. There's a lot of tension. There's a lot of friction. So there's that to consider. What it do, Old Dirty? And I mean, you got to think about where Golden Boy is as a stable right now and as a promotional outfit. They got one or two really good fighters, but there's just I thought about it. Like, it's got to be hard for them to stay afloat because you really can't hang your hat on Ryan Garcia. You know what I mean? And Ryan is technically the biggest draw that they have, but he by himself is not active enough to carry that entire company. He's not. And he doesn't fight often enough. When you consider that he was supposed to fight Mercito Hesta and he decided to call it off, you really can't rely on him to carry the company. He's not as reliable as Canelo Alvarez. In truth, that was a mortal blow when Canelo left. That was a mortal blow. Things have not been the same for them since Canelo Alvarez left. They got some good fighters. They got Ryan Garcia. They got Virgil Ortiz. They got Marlon Esparza, Aurelio Musinho, William Zepeda. But those fighters by themselves is really not enough to carry that company, and that's the look of it. So the story now is that Golden Boy, unfortunately, they might be kaput. I'm not wishing that on them. That's just what I'm hearing in the rumor mill. What it do, Virtuoso? What it do, Jay? Probellum and Golden Boy should just merge. Make amends with Richard Schaefer. Not because Probellum ain't doing nothing either. What would be the point? You would have an entire stable of fighters that you have to accommodate without a broadcast partner. Well, let's say this, that okay, let's say Golden Boy and Probellum merge and DAZN is the broadcast partner. I don't know that DAZN want to be in bed with them because of the Kinahan stuff and because of the number of fighters you would have to accommodate. And you also need to accommodate fighters that can bring you back a return. You need to accommodate fighters that can make you some money. You know, it ain't signing fighters for the sake of signing fighters. You have to have a plan. Was Goody hot boxing? So that's why Stanionis came down with his... I told y'all I don't believe that injury shit. I told y'all that. I don't believe he's injured. I don't believe any of that stuff. You happen to get injured right around the time you're supposed to fight this dude. Now what's going to happen is Virgil may end up fighting somebody else, right? He may end up fighting somebody else. And then him and Stanionis won't be on the same schedule. Oh, no, wait a minute. Let me correct myself. If Stanionis ends up fighting somebody else. They said they're going to look to do it in April. But we'll see. Because I think they said they want to do it in April. But Spence versus Thurman is in April. And Ryan Garcia versus Javante is in it. It's like, I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, the whole thing is mixed up. I did see that they said they're going to try to wait and do Stanionis versus Ortiz in April. But I'm like, really? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I don't believe he's actually injured. I don't believe that. It's the timing mostly that makes me feel like he's not injured. It's the timing. We got this Spence versus Thurman story. and I covered a couple of angles already in the video I did. I covered a couple of those angles, but I feel like there's at least one or two more angles that have to be addressed, because the precedence for the match is supposed to be that the WBC ordered it, right? That's why it's supposed to be going down, because they ordered it. But then why is it at 154? How you satisfying a mandatory from 147 at 154?
It's funny you mentioned that. Like, how you doing, man? By the way, hope all is well.
Goody.
It's like I'm taking a nice nap, and I wake up to that bullshit. I'm like, wait a minute. So this fight is above welterweight at 154 with no titles on it. So what the fuck is the point of the fight then?
Exactly. That's what I said. Because it's established, if it's at 54, it can't be for the belts. It's not a welterweight contest. How you gonna win a welterweight title or defend a welterweight title at 154?
And like the WBA is accusing him to like do this.
He has to fight Thurman because we gotta get Spence versus Crawford.
Do you see that idiot?
Yeah,
like, yo, like something like fam. Do you hear what you're saying? He's fighting a mandatory from 147 at 154. Thurman can't even win them belts. So how is there a precedence for him to fight Thurman?
Yo, Jules, didn't you say this earlier, like last year, that Thurman can't make 147?
I said that by the time that Keith Thurman returns, and by the time that Errol returns, based on what's going on, I don't think he'll be able to make the weight. I think he'll be drained. Moreover, this is also a part of the reason why I don't believe it was ever their intention to fight Crawford. If you really wanted to fight Crawford, it had to be last year. Because if you wait, it's going to be a year in between fights. If you wait. But when they seen Bud going to have a fight, oh, nah, we not going to fight him now. When they seen Bud going to have a fight. Because Errol fight was all the way back in April. So if he come back in the first or the second quarter, he going to have ring rust to shake off. I don't think he's going to be able to make the weight. The way everything is happening, look at Charlo. Charlo has not fought. When was the last time he fought at 154? When's the last time he fought?
With May, June, something like that last year.
Now look at what's going on. He injured, right? Do you think when he come back, he going to be able to make 154?
If he do, he'd be killing himself.
I don't think so.
He'd be killing himself if he did.
I don't think so. Look at Jamal. When's the last time he fought?
June of 2021.
Do you think when he come back, it's going to be at 160?
No.
See what I mean? When he come back, it's going to be at 68. When Mel come back, it's going to be at 60. When Errol come back, it's going to be at 54. And what have I been saying for 2 years? They're going to cycle them. Maul's going to move up the super middle. Mel's going to move up the middle. Errol's going to move up the junior middle. They're moving their strong.
The conga line.
Yeah, the PBC conga line. That's.
I think that's why they were saying Carlos.
If from that point on, they're going to be set up to win vacant belts, right? More or less.
I mean, more or less. Like they got their soldiers in position. There may be at least one belt that they lose. They might lose the WBA. They might lose that because of the Virgil thing. You know, he's in line. The fight is ordered. They might lose that. And Stanionis is really not really a PBC fighter. He's a Probellum fighter. Even if he's managed by Shelly Finkel, he's a Probellum fighter, and he's managed by Richard Schaefer. If they cared about Stanionis, and I posted this not but a few minutes ago, that in October, Stanionis went to the WBA. When he saw that the Crawford fight fell apart, in October, he went to the WBA. He petitions them. He says, look, I want my title shot. I'm owed a title shot ahead of the WBC. The WBA ignore him. The very next month, here come TGB. They say, no, we want Thurman to be next. We want Thurman next. Not Stanionis, who's already in line. Not Stanionis, who already deserves a title shot. We want Thurman. And that's what they gave him, Thurman. We all know that that's what they wanted all along. It was always going to be Thurman.
Yeah, but we're talking about the promotional companies. How about the fucking sanctioning bodies not following their own fucking rules?
Because they're being paid by the promotional company.
Of course they're being paid, but it's so obvious that they're being paid.
Brown paper bags, bruh.
This is fucked up.
I mean, like,
hey, hold on.
None of us should be surprised. None of us should be surprised because this is what we talk about damn near every night. That, bro, that Crawford fight is dead, bro. If you didn't think it was dead before, Spence going to 154, that don't show you that the fight is dead.
He's going to 154 to satisfy a mandatory at 147.
Wait,
How
he's
do
going
you
to
justify
54?
this? You cannot justify this.
Also, the
It
nauseating.
makes no fucking sense at all.
The nauseating Keith Thurman is a top welterweight shit is going to be on 10 for the next few months.
Bear in mind that Keith Thurman hasn't beat a top welterweight in 5 years, maybe
Yeah,
longer.
Bro,
A top welterweight fighting at 154.
I read the article. It said non-title fight. I was like, what?
Oh, so it did say it because I was about to ask. Correct me if I'm wrong, but this is a non-title fight.
Yes,
Non-title
correct.
fight.
It is. It's a non-title fight. It
Just
is.
That means
fight
that
at
with
No
Keith
belts,
Thurman,
no
so
belts.
correct me if I'm wrong. If Keith Thurman win, he don't get no title.
Nope.
Oh, he does
Trust
not.
me, this isn't
Nope.
a tune-up, by the way.
I know this is Garcia versus Benavidez. That's what this is. When Danny went to 154, did he fight at 154? No, he fought at 147. That's what Errol doing. He testing the waters. That's all that is. He's not coming. And I don't want to repeat here what I said in the video I just uploaded. But he's not coming back to 147. Period.
Oh no, he's not. Regardless
So
of whether he
let's
wins,
say-
he's staying. Yeah.
I say, and I don't really trust Stanionis to be real. I say, roll on Crawford versus Ortiz. Make it happen.
Thank you for the vacant
Make it
WBA belt. Put the WBA belt on the line for that.
Shelton, see what's going on.
And if that unification fight happens right away, it's going to show that Errol Spence was bullshit.
Why is anybody surprised?
I'm
Why
not.
are you surprised?
I'm not.
All right.
I told you. Talked to you a year ago, Julius, and I told you he was fighting Thurman.
Bro, no, I know, bro. I know. Like, there's no surprises here, bro. What I'm
Right.
saying is, irrespective, you know, what I really want to talk about in this live is irrespective of the PBC situation. What
Right.
should Crawford do?
Move on. It's
And
obvious
I-
now.
I think
It's
he
obvious
should,
now. You're not getting that fight. The
Not getting that
PBC,
If Errol
The
picks up a
PBC.
WBO, a vacant WBO belt, then maybe he can just move up and like say,
the
"Fuck that, I'm your man
PBC.
now."
Listen to me, bro. The PBC is not in the Terrence Crawford business.
Not at all. Not at all.
They're not in the boxing business either. Clearly,
So, I've maintained this, I would say, since there was trouble in paradise between Crawford and Spence. That look, the best super fight for Terrence Crawford at welterweight is Virgil Ortiz, and the best super fight for Virgil is Terrence. Why? You a Golden Boy fighter. You're a Golden Boy fighter. I don't believe you and the PBC is going to be able to make a fight, but one fight that you can make and one deal that you can strike is to bring Terrence Crawford over to the zone. You know, get him on a 2-fight deal. Maybe you get him Alexis Rocha. Maybe you keep him busy with Blair Cobbs. You bring him in. You have him fight on the platform, regular DAZN fight, and then later on in the year, later on in the year, you do Crawford versus Ortiz as a pay-per-view, because I think, people would buy that. They would buy that. You know, some months from now, because remember that some months from now, Virgil might be WBA champion. He might be.
Yes.
Fight him and Crawford,
Yeah.
it's a unification match.
Because these guys don't want. It's not Spence. I'm gonna say this again. I'm gonna say it for the upteenth time. It's not Spence. The people who control Spence do
Yes.
not want to fight.
Bro, it was Tom Brown that went to the WBA and asked for the special permission to fight Keith Thurman. It's in there. In October, Stanionis asked the WBA, yo, I already stepped aside, and look, the Crawford fight not happening. I should be next. That's what Stanionis wanted in October. The WBA ain't give him no play. Fast forward to the next month, TGB petitions, asks, yo, we want to fight Thurman. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Luis Puente says, is it possible that Golden Boy can merge with PBC? I mean, when the vice president, for those that don't know, there's a rumor already out. The story hasn't broken yet, but I have inside intel that says that Roberto Diaz, the matchmaker at Golden Boy, he's gone. Eric Gomez is contemplating resigning, and there's been a mass exodus of people at Golden Boy that have already left. That's what I've been told.
Shit.
That's what I've been told. So that's the other angle of that we have to look at. That how could the plan be for Golden Boy to bring over Crawford when they're in a situation that they are in, if the rumor checks out? Because right now it's just a rumor. It's not a fact. But I got it from 3 very good sources.
You believe it, don't you, Jules?
Yes.
But we've been hearing rumblings of this for a minute, though, haven't we?
I mean, yeah, but not. I haven't been hearing the rumor that the upper level management would leave. I didn't hear any rumors. That's new. I heard that today. That Roberto is out of there.
I'm saying that we've been hearing for months and months, almost a year now, that Golden Boy was having troubles.
I agree with that. We were hearing that things is not good over there. They didn't recover from Canelo Alvarez leaving, and how could they? He was basically carrying that company single-handedly with his fights. But without him, you cannot rely on Ryan. Unfortunately, Virgil is not a big enough draw yet to put the company on his back the way Canelo had it. And none of the fighters they really got can do what Canelo was doing for them, so they're in a bad way. So that's the caveat to that plan. How do you do Ortiz versus Crawford when Golden Boy is going through it?
BLK Prime.
Not bad.
The other question is, if Golden Boy is really going through it and they're dissolved or something like that, where does that leave the fighters and what do they do? Do they just migrate over to Matchroom?
Hopefully.
I'd say so.
Some of them will.
Bro, Virgil
I'd
would be fire.
had a
It'd
top
be
three.
okay.
A lot of those guys are going to be okay Prime.
It'd
You
be
think so,
okay.
really?
They will.
Nah, what if Crawford and
Yeah, I
Virgil
did.
fight on Matchroom? Like, that would be
I
a
did.
great promotion.
And that can happen because Crawford has stated publicly that the UK has the best fans.
I see everybody going to the zone. That's what I see.
Can I say that one possibility that there's 2 to 3 palpable possibilities for Crawford. If Josh Taylor beats Jack Catterall in a rematch and he decides that he doesn't want to stay at 140 because he can't make it anymore, Sky Sports, because they spending a lot of money, they could come in, they could give Crawford some bread and bring him over there the same way they brought Clarissa Shields over there. That could happen. That's a possibility. Another possibility, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about, is Regis Prograis on Black Crown. It's another possibility. Offer Regis the big bucks, have him move up. It won't affect his status as a champion at 140. He'll make some millions. It's a victimless crown. It's another
Yeah, like a Kell Brook Triple G.
It's a victimless crown. And of course, Crawford versus Ortiz, which, like I said, there's a caveat. You could do it, but because Golden Boy is on shaky ground, you really can't trust it. You can't confide in it.
That one might take some time, Jules. I see the Taylor and the Progress happen before the Ortiz, but I feel like it will happen if Ortiz gets that WBA belt.
Because we don't really know. Even though I'm fairly confident that Taylor will win the rematch, that don't mean he's going to stay there. He might not, because it might be too hard to make the weight. He's just going to do it one more time because he wants to silence the critics. But he may not be able to keep making that weight. He might not be able to. Look at when the last time he fought was. It was, I think it's a year in between fights, in between the first fight and when the second fight going to be. So maybe he makes it one last time and then he says, fuck it, I'm going up to 47. Get me Crawford. It's the only title shot that's out there for me. I can't get a shot with the other sanctioning bodies. Well, basically with Errol, I can't get a shot at Errol. The only shot I could get is Terrence. And because Sky have third-party backing, maybe they could bankroll it as a pay-per-view in the UK, but Terrence got to travel.
Well, what if Errol does move up and some of those titles become vacant? You think Taylor could get one of those belts?
The only belt Taylor still has right now is the BO. There's mandatories in place in all the other spots. The WBA is Stanionis Ortiz.
Oh, yeah.
The IBF is Boots. The WBC is supposed to be Thurman. I don't think the WBC going to do Josh Taylor any favors. His only
Ortiz
chance
Taylor? Would you entertain that scenario, Ortiz Taylor?
I mean, Ortiz will run him over, I think. I think Ortiz is too big for him, but I would watch. I don't know
think
how
so, yeah,
realistic
but
it is. So let's say
He's not winning. He's not winning any of those fights. Crawford gonna knock him out. Ortiz gonna run him over. Boots gonna beat him. I don't think he's winning any of those fights.
I don't think he wins any of those fights either, unfortunately.
Taylor's big, though. He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, but if we talking about a scenario where he move up in weight and those is the fights that's there, like that's going to be his next fight after Catterall, nah, he get beat. You got to give him a chance to acclimate, if we being honest, for him to even have a chance. And if you saying that you're gonna fight Catterall, then Crawford, nah, B, you gonna get beat. I mean, really, you just gonna get beat. But with the other guys, yeah, them two, they'll beat you. They'll beat you. And I like Taylor, but I'm saying like they'll beat him. They will beat him.
No, that's not happening.
So what if
Taylor
He's too
progress.
hittable. He's too hittable, bro. He's way too hittable.
like the safest route for Josh Taylor is if he can actually keep making 140, then fight Teofimo. He just look like shit. Fight
I
him.
don't think he can. I don't think he can.
I mean, there's reason enough to believe that he can, to be completely honest, but
He
You know what I
can,
mean?
but safely. The thing is, he can, but safely. Can he safely?
that's the safest money fight, though. That's the safest money fight is Teofimo. He's been looking bad. You know, he's naturally smaller. You know, you're bigger. You hit harder. You could probably take more punches. That's the safest money fight. And
Yeah.
it's a top rank / Sky Sports thing. So the network is there to do it, the avenue to do it. But one, does Lopez want that to be next?
No.
Based on how he looked
No.
with Sandor Martin?
No.
And two, can Josh Taylor make 140 more than once?
Can Lopez beat Zepeda? I honestly want to know.
I mean, I
Hell
don't think
no.
Lopez has been serious, bro.
Nah.
I think he's just been hawking hot air for this entire time. You saw what happened
I
with
think-
Prograis, right?
I think maybe
The
he
second
could
he
beat him
becomes
now
available.
because Cepeda got knocked out brutally.
Hell
He
So I
did
feel
no.
get knocked
maybe he
out,
could
but I
probably
still
now.
think Zepeda still might have it.
He
Hell
got knocked
no.
out brutally, man.
Hell
Well,
no.
the other thing is this: they already announced Ramirez versus Comey is about to get made. Barboza versus Pedraza, that's done. So who is Lopez going to fight next?
It should be Zepeda. I mean, that's the only guy they have over there.
Maybe
Bro,
winners
He
of one.
said he wants to fight
in
Reed.
the hospital, bro.
He
Winners
said
of one
he
of those
wants
fights,
to fight
maybe.
Reed.
Probably still
That's
in
what
the
he said.
hospital.
That's what
Like,
him and his daddy said.
Nobody's heard nothing from Zepeda since the fight. Like, I'm like, where is this guy? Like, is he all right?
He's
Like-
still in the spittle. Still in the spittle.
telling you, if I'm, that's not a good fight for Zepeda to come back with. To be real with you, he got hit a lot in that fight. He got hit a lot.
He took a lot of damage. He really did.
And I don't think that's going to be the next fight, which is why I have that question. If Taylor and Catterall spoken for, Ramirez Comey spoken for, Pedraza Barboza spoken for, who you gonna fight?
Another guy in the bar. We're gonna get a guy from the bar in Mexico.
So you think it's gonna be another Campas fight, like that kind of fight, that kind of guy?
Yeah, something like that.
By the
Makes
way, a
sense.
quick question for y'all: like, the other thing Zepeda retires because Regis might have took his soul in that fight.
Nah, he'll
He
probably fight. No, because he's with Zanfer. If Zanfer can't do nothing else, they could get him another like rebound fight south of the border and get him back in the winner's bracket. Now, what does he really have left? I don't know. He got shit beat out of him.
That's what I'm saying. Does he go for another title run or what? Like, this is his third
Oh no
time.
no no no
Like,
no no. He'll never touch the title again. No, he's done.
I don't think he's
Okay.
gonna touch it.
This fight looks like it was his third time, and he fell short again, like for the third
Exactly.
time. So,
I think he cooked. I think his goose is cooked. To be real with you.
damn.
Hey, wait a minute. We forgot about the guy with the dog, man. At 140.
Are you talking
Oh,
about
no.
Montana?
Montana
Nah, but
Oh
see,
God.
I'm not against that, but Montana Love's style is too similar to Sandor Martin. He gonna move lateral, try to jab, stay on the outside. You just went through that with Sandor Martin. You about to go through that again with Montana Love? Two Montanas with Matchroom.
I wonder
Oh,
if he
I know
should run it back.
Paro.
Who?
Liam Paro.
Matchroom.
Oh,
But
really?
don't
I thought he was just...
Frank and
What?
Bob have a good relationship?
You talking about Frank Warren? That's
Yeah.
Queensbury.
That's Queensbury. That's Queensbury. My bad.
That's Queensbury.
What about CV Sparks? Did he sign the match?
Matchroom. He's on Matchroom. Yep. Matchroom.
Matchroom.
I'm thinking Lindolfo Delgado.
That's a bad fight, bro. That's a bad
I
fight.
wonder.
Bro, every
If he
fight at
should run it
140
back.
is bad for Teofimo.
But that's
But
what I'm
who's
saying. In
Lindolfo
other words,
Delgado at? Like a
do
personal
you-
memory?
do you anticipate that his next fight is going to be an L? Because if it's Delgado, I think that's an L.
Is he?
I don't know if it's an L, but
Is
I
he any
don't
good?
think Top Rank is gonna give him a soft touch. They didn't do it. They don't do it that a lot. So
I mean, they gave him a
They
soft
got
touch.
shit else together. What else they got together?
Sandor last minute is not a soft touch, bro.
Nah, yeah, I agree with that. That they knew that like you can't.
But what else? But what else do they have, Jules? What else do they have over there?
Well, look,
Maybe they should run it back.
nah, I don't want to
Maybe.
see
No,
that.
no,
I don't know.
No.
I feel like
Yeah,
they might
it's
make this a
probably,
Nato fight because Cepeda got knocked out, bro. That's
Bro, they not.
I was just
some
about to
people
They
say,
not.
might see
maybe
that as an
They not gonna. They
opportunity.
not gonna put him in that fight, bro. They not gonna put him in that fight. Before they put him in that fight, he'll have a fight south of the border with Zanfa. Before they put him in that fight, they won't put him in there with Lopez straight away. What about Abraham Nova? Is he fighting? Where you at?
Bro, what?
Ain't he 126?
My fault.
Okay.
Yo, I was like,
Jules,
yo,
what you
what?
talking about?
I'm bugging. My fault. I don't know why I thought he was at 40, bro.
oh, you tripping.
Yeah, I'm
You want
bugging.
to get another
I'm
easy
bugging.
touch?
Wild fight.
I'm bugging.
Another easy touch, really?
But that's how sparse it is. Like, bro, I said it when he beat Loma, and everybody was talking all that shit. That I'm like, look, he might have beat Loma, and that's cool. But at 140, it's not gonna be good for him. It's like, for real, it's not. Your main shit was that you was a big size lightweight, or you was like a decent, not even really big, because really Haney is a big lightweight. Jermaine Ortiz is a very big lightweight. Nicotila is a very big lightweight, whereas you stocky. And I said it then. You could go back to them videos like, nah, B. When he get to 40, he gonna get his ass whooped.
What are we saying already? I mean, like he was struggling against Compa in that fight slightly.
I mean, unless they could get him like a Zanford Promotions guy, you know, one of those guys that they employ south of the border to maybe put him in another Campas kind of fight, it's not looking good, bro. Because what they do have at 140 at Top Rank that they're actually invested in, either they're busy or they beat you.
Is Sergey still with PBC?
I mean, do you ever really leave PBC?
They're trapped. They can't.
Sergey's busy.
Because
Sergey's
Sergey's
busy,
number,
ain't
he's number
Ain't he
5
busy?
in WBC.
Nobody can
Ain't
leave the
Sergey
island.
busy?
Do we got to fight Sergey Lipinets?
Probably.
He just beat Omar Figueroa, right? Or
He just beat,
Oh,
he
yeah,
just
he
beat the
did.
hell out of Omar
He did.
Figueroa.
yeah,
He beat the hell out of him.
You retired him.
damn.
And he's number 5 in WBC, so it could
Yeah,
be
but
him.
you know what? Look, if we talking about one Lipinets going back to 40, the PBC is invested in 140. Jeremiah Ponce, Subriel Matias, Gary Antoine Russell, Alberto Puello. They would sooner make Lipinets versus one of them than send them to Top Rank.
Is Jeremiah Ponce a PBC fighter or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
He
You know
is.
my
He
daughter's
is.
Oh, okay.
What
He's
about
a Chino Maidana fighter, but Chino Maidana's doing business with who? PBC.
PBC?
Oh,
What about
Ponce's
Lopez?
Ponce's with Madonna. I didn't know that. He's with
Lopez Cambosis too
No.
Yo, I like
at
yo,
140. At 140?
No,
Yo,
no. No, he's too small. Cambos
Bro.
is too small to go to 40.
bro,
He's too
I
small.
know. I'm
Who is he
tell
gonna
you
beat
what,
at lightweight? Like who is he gonna fight there?
The other shit is
Who
look.
cares?
No,
Who
wait
cares?
a minute. When was Cambosos Haney? When was the second one?
September,
October.
October last year,
October.
something like that.
October.
October.
Yeah.
Do you anticipate that when he comes back, he gonna come back as a lightweight?
Cambosa?
He should. He's too small to go to 40. He should.
He's too small.
No,
He's
he
too
might
small
not,
for
but
40.
he already said, I'm not going to fight Shakur off of 2 losses, so why would I fight Lopez again off of 2 losses? And the first fight was still difficult.
Because of the order deception.
The art of war. That's what he said.
Yeah, the art of war. It's
Deception, baby.
It's a deception, yo.
Deception, Art of War, baby.
Nah, but on some real shit, look, that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Like, look, I'm coming off an L. You coming off, really, you should be coming off an L, but whatever, whatever. You look like shit. I beat you before. I'll beat you again, because
Teofimo has to go to Australia.
I think
That'd be
he'll
a big
fight him
fight
at
there.
140. And then he'll just go
How
down.
how about Hitchens, y'all?
Richardson Hitchens,
Yeah, how about
matchroom fighter.
You got a fight
Fighting
coming up too anyway. You already got a fight coming up too, right?
Yeah, he do. He about to be on the show. I'm like, yo, if you Lopez, at least run it back with George, bro. Run it back with George.
Also, that's still an ass whooping when you think about it. I don't think he'd beat Richardson Hitchens.
Look, run it back with George.
It's not
And
looking
also,
good.
even
He doesn't
even
beat
if
Rich,
Devin
so he's-
Haney wins or loses, he moves up. That's still a big fight. So
Oh,
Lopez
wait a
can-
minute. We forgot the
Devin Haney.
elephant in the room, y'all.
Who?
What about Rolly?
Rolly,
Bro.
PBC, bro.
Rolly trying
Come
to get Rolly trying to get a Spence fight.
Yeah,
You'll never
Spencer's
get it.
ducking Rolly, bro. Spencer's
never
been
get it.
ducking Rolly.
You'll never get it.
Nah,
I can't
but
believe it.
Real shit. Rolly would sooner fight Isaac Cruz before he goes to Top Rank. He's all Mayweather Promotions has.
He'll get knocked out worse than Tank.
Now,
I'm pretty sure.
I want to
Also, if you could believe it, Rolly is Tiafimo's friend. So
yeah, they're not gonna fight.
Yeah, buddies.
Oh, yeah, they both
Yeah,
buddies.
they're butt buddies. Those kids. They're not gonna fight. K9, former champion K9 Bundridge, about 3 days ago, he posted a video. It was about 2 or 3 days ago, where Javante Davis started backtracking about Mayweather Promotions. Now he said literally in the video, "I never left Mayweather Promotions." He literally said that in the video.
3
And
days
then
ago.
He said what? Say it again.
He said, "I never left Mayweather Promotions." No, he said, "I never said I was leaving Mayweather Promotions." I'm not lying. You can look it up right now. K9 Bundridge, he got a YouTube channel. He posted it.
Yeah. I know. I'm from to this channel. Yeah, I know.
Now, Bong, what have I been saying? He could always go back. This whole thing.
You did.
If he really, whether he really left or it was a con, he could always go back.
What would be the point, though? Like, what would be the point? ¿Qué le pasa a este güey, bro? ¿Qué le pasa a este güey? Like, what would be the point?
And he doesn't think for himself.
Es un idiota, de veras.
See,
None of them do.
What's the real reason you would have left Mayweather Promotions? What, because of Floyd? Floyd don't barely even be over there. He in Dubai.
He said that he's not paying attention to him, bro. He's his little. Es su papi, su papá, si sabes.
Bro.
Lo lleva al baño, le da de comer.
I'll say this much. There's something shifty about it because, one, the announcement for the Ryan Garcia fight, that shit feel fake. That's one. Two, they like producing drama right before he have a fight. Literally, right before every fight he has, there's always some dramatic shit that happens. Like, there's always a flare-up, whether it's with Floyd or something at home. There's always something going on. And, I ain't going to say that the baby mother shit was some fake shit, but I'm just saying that that's the kind of time that he on that. Whenever he about to have a fight, some drama shit happen. So is it possible that the only reason they was saying all that shit was to, I don't know, man, help sell Hector Garcia?
Yes.
Sure.
Like, damn.
Worse.
Maybe he didn't press charges against that girl, has he?
Nah,
for lying about that shit and defamating him.
That's not up to you in a case like that. It's not up to you. You have to take that to civil court. You can't press charges for somebody lying on you. That's up to the DA, who they lied to decide if they want to press charges. You can't do that. You can take him to civil court and sue him for libel.
I think he should.
maybe he just stepped away from Floyd Mayweather for the just to get the Ryan fight. Who knows?
But do you believe the Ryan fight is going to happen based on what's going on right now?
No,
I have no reason to believe this is going to happen.
Floyd said that they offered.
I mean, he Tank did his job. He beat Hector Garcia. So why hasn't the fight been announced yet? Why isn't nobody talking?
Because he got to go to court. He got to go to court, AJ, on February 12th, and nobody knows what's going to happen.
Yeah, I think that fight is dependent on whether or not he's going to be a free man during that period. So,
do you think they negotiate? Wait, do you think they negotiated in good faith, or was the whole thing fake? The announcement, because remember,
they negotiated in good faith because everybody knew he had to go to court on this shit. They knew this shit was there. Nobody can't say on either side that they didn't know this boy had a court date. They knew.
That's true.
I mean, like one thing I'm curious about. Let's say Tank beats his case, right? Or he doesn't go to jail, and the fight does happen. Where does it even take place at? Is it going to be on Showtime or the Zone? That's what I'm curious about.
No, it's going to be on Showtime because he fights exclusively on Showtime.
But Ryan's going to go over there. Ryan's going to go over there. Or
I mean, I'm pretty sure.
That's why I'm asking.
Golden Boy's breaking up, so who's going to stop him?
Basics.
Yeah, man. If this fight don't happen, they're going to piss a lot of people off. That's all I know.
Bro,
Espinosa's going to break him out of jail.
I hope it doesn't happen. You know why? Because
who
Ryan
announced the fight? The fight got announced last year. Who announced it?
I'll tell you what. Look. No. Jointly. It was jointly because it was both Joe Markowski of the Zone, Stefan Espinoza of Showtime. Leonard didn't say anything. You know, Leonard was the only one that was quiet, but it was on both sides. And even Oscar De La Hoya, like, it was both sides that was like, they reached terms. They gonna fight.
Right.
So it made it looked good, but it looked to me like they announced that shit to help sell Hector. That's the vibe
That's
I get.
exactly what I thought. And maybe Espinosa's gonna have to bake a cake with a steel file in it. Who knows?
But why would the zone be in on it? You think they got lied to?
Well, maybe they out. Maybe they out of the loop. Maybe they're out of the loop.
And they're gonna get some cheese out of this.
Or
Get some
maybe it's in the
cheddar
contract
cheese.
that this fight will go forward depending on whether or not Gervonta beats that case.
Yeah, and he probably don't beat that case because of what we talked about yesterday. That the DA want him to do at least a little bit of time for that. He
If
might
it
do
ain't number 60 days or 30 days or something, they want him to go to jail.
Yeah, like he might 30 days, but he gonna do something. It looked like so. I mean,
man,
you know,
I feel
that's probably
two.
why the fight ain't gonna happen, bro. That's probably why.
I feel like they might give him a year to two because he's got a lot of charges on him.
Bro.
They're gonna make a deal. They're gonna make a deal. They're gonna make a deal that's amenable to the judge. That's
Yeah,
what
like I don't think they're gonna be able to hit him with all of that because if they hit him with all of that, I think they said it's 14 years. So I don't think I don't think they're gonna hit him with all of that.
WWE shit.
They're gonna make a deal.
Don Juan said maybe
the only reason the deal fell apart was because the deal didn't include any jail time. It just said no, he got to go to jail.
Agreed. Don Juan says maybe Mayweather paid the baby mom to start crap so that Tank had no choice but to go back to Mayweather.
Oh, that's foul.
I mean, stranger
I know
things.
Floyd's a piece of shit, but Floyd wouldn't do that.
Stranger things have happened. I don't automatically believe it, but I don't rule it out either. I don't rule it out.
Tank beat a bitch up for free before, so I doubt
Yeah,
it.
like
yeah.
I mean, I'll say this much: I got the
He
sneaking.
just beat her up. He just snatched her in her collar. Come on, Jules.
I have the sneaking suspicion that the fight's not going to happen, and that'll be the reason. The jail stuff. It'll probably go up for 6 months, and that'll fuck up the fight. That'll fuck up the fight.
The Ryan has to deal with Regis. The Ryan has to deal with Regis afterwards.
And even if it doesn't, Showtime. Well, that's the other question. Where is Spence versus Thurman going to be on?
You know where it's gonna be, bro.
No, I really don't. Because if you so you Showtime and if you put Spence versus Thurman the same month as Garcia versus Davis, it must be because you don't think one of them shits is gonna happen.
Precisely. Now you cooking with gas. now you cooking with gas.
So I mean, so it's kind of obvious that don't look for Davis versus Garcia. At which point the question then becomes: if Ryan don't fight Davis because Davis is in a bing, who does Ryan fight?
Regis.
That's who I want him to fight. You really think he's gonna fight Regis?
No.
Getting in the ring with programs, bro. He's not.
He's not gonna fight that dude, bro. But who is he gonna fight then?
Another can.
Bring up a smaller guy.
Maybe Williams Zepeda. Who knows?
Oh, good fight. That's a good fight.
Let me.
Zepeda said he didn't want to move up at all for some reason, so probably not.
He'll fight him at a catchweight, bro. Come on.
No, he won't fight him.
I mean, or he'll move up.
He won't fight him. He won't fight him. But Ryan, not that I have a lot of stock in things that he says, but last year he said if he can't get Davis, you know who he want. Guess who?
Devin
Lopez.
Oh. No. That might actually happen. I can believe that. Actually,
I'd love to see that. That'd be good.
That's not bad.
The build-up would be
He
crazy.
said that. I don't know that I can take him at his word, but that is what he said. That if for some reason you can't get Gervonta Davis, he wants Teofimo Lopez.
I mean, Teo's been looking kind of cooked lately, so I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan noticed it. And if he said this after the Kambosos fight, he might be saying, "Yo, this dude might be food at a certain point for me."
Do you really think he could beat him? Do you think he could beat him? You think really? Wow.
Yeah, I just watched this man touch the canvas twice from Sandor Martin.
You don't think?
Yes, I think he could hit him.
Well, that's not a bad one. But Barrios ain't at 140 no more, and he coming off of 2 L's. So I don't know how realistic that is. That's not a bad one though. If they could get him back in the winner's bracket, that wouldn't be a bad idea. But
they turned his ass into a gatekeeper, man. Come on,
he's split, bro. They passing him around. He's split.
Just like they did Gamboa.
Like that dude is a spliff, bro. They just passing him around the cipher.
I think Ryan is gonna end up fighting JoJo probably.
But ain't JoJo coming off a loss?
Yep.
Man, JoJo's looking for a check. Like, does he care about? Yeah, like,
you know,
I
I want to give bad props. I want to give props. He's taking tough fights, man. He really is.
At this
Like,
point, JoJo will take all the tough big fights.
That's true though. You got to give it to JoJo, boy.
I mean, that's like Rakhimov, Fortuna, Zepeda, David, all back to back. Like shit. You know what I mean?
I'll say
Who's
this.
JoJo up next?
You really want to see that fight, Jay? You want to see that?
No, I don't. No, I pick Ryan to beat him if they fought. But you know, so
because that's kind of where I'm at. That I don't actually want him to fight JoJo.
No, I don't. I mean, Ryan, that's a fight to win. But yeah, but
coming off of Elder Haney,
yeah.
Elder Zepeda, what's the point?
Yeah, so that's then he fights Ryan. That's his third L, probably his first knockout loss too. So,
because Ryan ain't gonna fight him at 35.
Nope.
If I don't think Ryan can make 35
by that time.
I don't think he can make 35.
You know, you're supposed to fight Davis at 36. What is a catchweight fight? 36.
Yeah, I don't think he can make 35, bro. I don't think he's even gonna try.
Something tell me that Ryan knew that this fight ain't gonna happen. Something tell me. I don't know why, but I just felt like the way he carrying on, he knew or he know this shit ain't gonna happen. But I'm gonna just make it look good.
It's like if it doesn't do to the justice, he'd be like, "Oh well, it ain't my fault." You know what I'm saying? And he could just pass blame.
Well, you know, technically it isn't, right?
No, it's not. It's not.
I've been through that though. When that plea deal got thrown out of the courtroom, I knew this fight would happen.
So they just hamming it up. The shit is fucked up, man. And the only outfits that are providing stability for the boxing fans is Matchroom
and Top Rank.
Yep. And Queensbury a little bit. They try, you know, they try. They do.
I've actually enjoyed their cards, if I'm being real. They do put on some good cards.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. I don't really watch they shit, but I'm looking forward to Better Beat versus Yard this month. I'm looking forward to that.
Queensbury undercards are garbage, yo. I totally disagree.
What day is that, guys?
Queensbury.
The 28th.
Yeah, but Better Beat versus Yard gonna be on ESPN Plus.
I got it.
Last card was good though. The Parker Joyce card. That was a bad.
That was a good card. That was
a good one. I enjoyed that one.
I'm not mad at the Big Shot Shaw card. Him and Jogba. I ain't mad at that card. I'm gonna watch that.
No, I like that. Yeah, that's a good fight. A Jogba versus him that's a good step up for sure. And a Jogba, like, he really need to show you world class, yo. He need to show that. So
please tell me they got Richard Torres on that card.
They do.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. No, I like that card. Don Juan says Brandon Lee versus Ryan Garcia. That wouldn't be bad if he was actually going to do it, but Brandon Lee is PBC'd up. He just fought.
I got Ryan in that fight. I don't know about y'all.
No, I got Ryan in that fight.
Yeah.
Brandon Lee ain't that.
I think
Brandon Lee ain't all that. He ain't all that. Brandon Lee ain't all that.
Can I ask
Ryan
a question?
Ain't all that either. Ryan ain't all that.
Is Brandon Lee versus Haney a 50-50 fight?
No, I would pick Haney comfortably to beat him. I would pick Haney comfortably.
But that's a good step
Ryan
up.
doesn't want to do it.
40, if he comes to 40 and that's his first fight, that's a good fight for him.
That's a good fight, but because he's a PBC guy, it ain't gonna happen. He don't have the autonomy to leave. You know what I mean?
Jules, you
think Haney possibly moves over to PBC?
No.
Say it again.
I said, do you think Haney possibly moves over to PBC at like 40?
Nah, I think Haney might stay with Top Rank because of Lopez. That's a fight you could build. You know what I mean? That's one of the few fights that makes sense for him because it doesn't make sense for Haney to, when he get to 40, rush into a title. You know, even if you do beat Lomachenko, don't do what Teofimo did. Don't paint yourself into a corner. Take your time, acclimate to the weight, and one fight that is a sensible fight that'll make some money is a Lopez fight.
Win or lose, that's still a pretty good fight, pretty big fight.
Also, I don't think PBC has the money to pay Devin.
Oh, that too.
That is true. I forgot about that.
They don't have money for Bud. They don't have money for AJ. They don't have money for any of these guys.
They got 2 titles over there, but it's like if you ain't gonna pay no bread, then ain't nobody going over there.
Yeah.
Think about it this way: Broner left at a time when they could have fast tracked him to Puello, the WBA champion, a new one that nobody knows. If he really wanted like a title shot, They could have fast tracked him to that, but why did he leave? No money, no fight dates. That's what he said. So Haney ain't going over there.
I also
Haney
think
is
those two belts are vulnerable.
Question
Like,
if Haney beats Loma, if he loses to Loma, do they keep him around? I don't think so.
I think they do because there's still big fights out there for him.
You think they'll keep him if he does lose?
If he
No.
loses, yeah,
Lopez.
man, you could do a big. Like I said, win or lose, he could fight Lopez. Win or lose, he could fight Lopez.
Yeah.
Hey, I
Jules, do
got
you
a
think of
question. I
Golden
got a
Boy?
question, Jules.
Go ahead.
Crawford's a free agent, right? Why him and Bob can't do business again?
Because he tried to sue Bob, bro.
well, Bob said he doesn't hold.
Yeah, that
grudges.
was a bad move.
What he said? Did he say that was water under the
Yeah,
bridge?
but Bob said
Yeah, he
that's
doesn't
water
care,
under the
though.
bridge, and he don't take that type of shit personal. It's part of business.
If he do, then they could do business. But there's not. The other thing is okay. Let's say you bury the hatchets with Bob. Y'all cool now. What's the one fight the Top Rank gets you? Josh Taylor.
That's what I was thinking. That's why I was sitting there thinking about that because you mentioned that Taylor fight, and
Yeah,
I'm thinking the only way he gets the Taylor fight is if they do business.
like even like let's say that okay, the relationship with Bob is still strained. That shit could still happen because Sky Sports got to give Josh Taylor options, and that's one of the few options that he has. That you can fight Bud at 147. He got a title. He ain't busy with nothing. He could move around. We could bring him over here the same way we brought Clarissa Shields over here. We could do that. So it's possible.
You can also like bypass Bob and just work with Nick Khan because he makes fights happen. That's how Tyson Fury got the rematch with Deontay Wilder. They had a fucking just how toxic Al Heyman is. They had to go through Nick Khan and Shelly Finkel had to do that.
Wait, doesn't that Khan work for WWE?
Yeah, he works for them too, but he also represents Top Rank.
Motherfucking Don Juan said Broner versus Garcia. Who, Ryan Garcia? They'd make a lot of money with that fight. They would.
That's not a bad one, actually.
Oh, the damn build-up would be crazy for that.
Who wins that fight, though?
Ryan.
Ryan.
Really?
Oh, Ryan will beat the shit out of Adrian Broner.
Y'all trust
He
him
won't
more
stop
than
him,
me.
though.
I'm
He won't stop
thinking.
Broner.
I'm
He
thinking.
might beat Broner, but he won't stop him.
Bro, can Broner make 140? No.
I don't. That's the other thing. Like, where they gonna fight at?
Actually, you know what? Hold on.
45,
Here's my answer to that
47,
question.
something
They're
like
gonna
that.
they're gonna fight
Cruiserweight.
cruiserweight.
Here's my answer to that question. If Broner were to make 140, I would have confidence in him beating Ryan Garcia. There we go.
I don't.
How much you want to put on that?
I don't know about that. I don't know.
Nobody's
If
gonna
he
bet money on that.
if he actually like went through a training camp and made 140, I would say, okay, you know what? Yeah, that's enough for me to say you beat Ryan
He
Garcia.
did that
There we go.
his last couple fights. He looked like garbage.
Did he make 140?
I don't think he made
missed
140.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I
he
can't
missed
remember the
140.
last time
He fought
he
Santiago.
Did he make 40 for Santiago, or was that
No, I
47?
don't think
I'm
so.
pretty sure that was
47.
Yeah,
Pretty sure.
didn't make the weight.
And the Red
Why does he
Catch
keep
fight is at
insisting on
47. The Red Catch fight is at 47,
Yeah.
When's the last year he made 140?
bruh.
Maidana?
Was it Vargas or was that
I'm like-
welterweight?
Maidana was 147.
Mikey?
You got to be Mikey.
Yeah, it was
bro.
Mikey, and Mikey beat the shit out of him.
Mikey
Yeah,
or
bro.
Vargas, right? Or
Wait,
Vargas?
Mikey and no, never mind. I forgot. They fought.
Yeah. On that note, I think that Ryan could beat him. Now that I remember, because Mikey beat the shit out of him, and that was years ago.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
And Mikey moved up in weight. You know what I mean? And he beat the shit out of him. Ryan is bigger than Mikey. And
Yeah.
faster.
Yeah, he is.
So
And
Younger.
probably more motivated than Mikey at that time, too.
Yeah, Adrian
Yeah.
is food motivated. He's
Yeah,
like
but
a
that
dog.
fight would sell though.
oh yeah, definitely. And
Ryan
and,
should
and,
jump on that.
Broner does know how to survive though.
yeah, but he would still lose though. He would still lose.
BLK Prime.
I'll tell you what, bro. I'll tell you what. If Golden Boy Promotions is dissolved, where should Ryan go? If you're his manager, where do you take him?
Natural.
I would.
Stay
Yeah,
with the
Matchroom
zone.
or Top Rank.
Yeah. Well,
Top rank for that one.
It got to be
I
one
don't
of
know
the.
about, no.
He got Devin. He has Devin.
not
He
true.
has Lopez over there as well.
That's
He
that's
doesn't want
good
to work
fight.
for it. He's not gonna go to matchroom. I mean, top rank. He doesn't want to work for it, bro.
Ooh, wait, that's a separate question. See what you're saying is which I do agree with. By the way, I don't think he would want to work for it. So where do you think he would go?
I
If
would
it
I would say PBC, easy fights, long layoffs.
that sounds
No.
about right. That sound like Ryan. That sound like Ryan. Like you don't want to fight like that. And when
They
you
got
fight,
some guys.
you don't
They
want it
got
to be nobody hard. Yo, he could
they got
save the PBC, bro.
they have
Could he
that
really?
champion for him,
Could he
right?
We
really?
don't need
He
that. No,
could.
don't even
He
put that in
could.
the ether.
He could, because if you go to top rank, you're going to have to actually fight somebody.
Yeah, he'd get killed at top rank, bro.
Hey, so good.
But look,
He killed
they
at
still
top
have
rank.
they still have Subriel, and he'd kill Ryan.
Yeah, but they wouldn't put him in. They
They'll
not
put him
dumb.
against like
They're not
Gary or
gonna make that
Quayle.
fight, bro. They're
They
not gonna.
wouldn't feed him. They wouldn't feed him to Matias just yet.
They will give him like Lipinets or somebody like that. They would give him Lipinets, somebody that yeah, he got a name for some people, but you could beat him. They wouldn't put him in there with Subriel. They wouldn't put him in there with Gary. Maybe they would put him in there with Puello.
They put
Doesn't
him in
make any
Rolly
money.
first. Rolly. Or second fight.
And Puello's not easy work anyway. He's another like Sandor Martin type. He's gonna make everybody look bad.
Cruz. There's Pitbull too. I got Pitbulls.
Yeah, but if Ryan isn't fighting Davis, he's not coming down to 35. Well, 36.
Oh,
I think he
yeah,
could pull up.
He's at
36, really,
135.
not
Yeah,
35,
you're right.
but
What about
36.
Alberto
135.
Pendejo?
It's a pendejo. If Golden Boy Promotions is dissolved, where should Virgil go?
It would be
Matchroom,
PBC.
yeah.
Matchroom? Fuck you gonna do at
It
Matchroom?
would be
You fight
PBC.
Connor Ben
Top
in
rank?
London
No,
and make a
top
lot of
rank.
money.
Top rank with that.
That's
that'll be
one
good.
fight, my God. That's just one fight.
Okay, who's he
One-off
gonna
fight.
fight at PBC? Jerron Ennis is moving up. Arrow's moving up.
Jerron
Thurman
Ennis
is
not
moving up.
moving up. He gonna stay at
Yeah, he
47.
Man, look how big he is. He can't make that weight after this year. He's not making that weight anymore. And I doubt he's gonna wait around for the belts either.
Nah, look, I hate to say this. I don't even know if they could accommodate that much talent, but just based on the fights that you need or the fights that you want, the relevant fights, the best place for Virgil if Golden Boy is dissolved really is PBC. As odd as that might sound, but it's like, well, what the fuck else you gonna do? Oh, you moving up to 54? Guess what? They got all the belts up there too, bro. Fuck you, like you gotta go to PBC, bro. God, that would suck. They don't deserve Virgil.
Yeah.
See, I hope Virgil and Ryan, if that does happen, like just be free agents, man. Just do like Canelo does.
They should do like a Goku thing, like Fusion, like Vegeta and Goku. They touch fingers and shit. Fusion thing. Fusion.
What
Turn
would
into
you call
Roberto
him?
Duran.
What
Between
would it
Ryan,
be if they fused?
Yeah, it would just be Virgil, but he's gay. That would be the only like.
Oh wow.
no, they'll turn between Ryan's machismo and charisma and Virgil's natural ability and aggression. When they touch fingers, they'll turn into Roberto Duran. That could work, bro. That could work.
Virgil Garcia.
Virgil Garcia, motherfucking Ryan Ortiz.
Jeez.
Drew said, after today's boxing voice, I really can't stand hearing most American opinions on boxing. Talk about it, Drew, what they said, because I ain't watch it.
Bro, I only listen to the boxing voice. I don't limit myself to like once a month.
Yeah, but every so often, I got to give it the nuts to that. They've been getting some good sound bites out of guys, because I think it was on a boxing voice where Rashidi Ellis said that he was offered Virgil Ortiz, but they didn't like the money. That was a rumor up until recently. That was just a rumor, but it's confirmed. You know
Yeah,
what I
everybody
mean?
thought Oscar was crazy when he said that, but it turns out it was true.
Shit, all you had to do was see how he just behaved at the press conference with Ennis to know that. They're like, yo, you think that you supposed to get buku dollars to fight people? Nah, son, you got to earn it. You want buku dollars for Virgil. You want buku dollars for Ennis. Like, you really a name. Like, nah, B, you not a name, though.
Like this guy, I heard a lot of people talk. Well, some people talk about him, but it's like he was really under the radar at 147. So,
Who? Rashidi?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know what he's gonna do moving forward. To be real with you, like,
When was the
And that's
last
these
time
fighters.
he
That's
had
these
fought?
fighters' problems. Like they think they've arrived when they haven't.
Yeah, like you have to take the initial risk. Like he was 27, 28, turning down Virgil. Like that's a big fight for that. Like, and if you lose, who cares? You still beat Alexis Rocha, and there's still other fights out there. You have to take the risk.
The other thing is that underneath it all, he knew what would happen. Hindsight being 2020, that based on how the Villa fight played out, imagine if he would have fought Virgil. He'd still be in the hospital right now.
They still be trying to wake him up.
So yeah, he knew what was finna happen. So it is what it is with that. I don't know what the fuck he gonna do. The
Probably could
question
have been
now,
worth more.
I mean, shit. The question now is, if Golden Boy is really gonna be dissolved, they don't have a lot of marquee fighters, but they do have a lot of fighters that need accommodation. What are they gonna do, man? What are they gonna do? Virgil really should go to the PBC, as uncomfortable as that makes me, but that's the most sensible option because you got to go where the welterweights and the junior welterweights are, and that really is the junior middleweights are. That really is the PBC. Like, if you could do like a Virgil Ortiz versus Tim Tszyu fight, ooh, that's a good fight. It's a good fight. So
I know you're really worried that Blair Cobbs is going to be left without a promoter, Jules. I know you're really
ain't nobody
sad
gonna
about
sign
that.
him, bro. Ain't nobody gonna sign him. He gonna end up with UFC Fight Pass.
No, they can do Bear Cobb versus Montana Love.
Nobody gonna sign him, bro.
Montana Love versus Bear Cobb. They could do that.
Nah, Conor Ben versus Blair Cobbs. I could go for that.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
that'd be
comeback
fantastic,
fight.
especially on the PIDs. On the PIDs,
Now, see, the problem for Virgil is this, bro. Everything that kid throws, he throws with mean intentions. Everything.
Absolutely.
Every
And
fucking shot.
that's going to backfire one day, Sheldon.
Yeah,
I
somebody gonna
like
take
him,
it.
but he got the thing. Comey does that he throw all the punches with the same cadence. That you throw them all the same way. It's all fastballs. It's all fastballs.
Yeah, listen.
That's why I
If they
got Bud
fought
knocking him
tomorrow,
out.
Terrence would beat his ass. Like, I'm just being
Mhm.
honest.
Not-
And I like
not-
Virgil.
Like Virgil off.
Like, I'm high on Virgil. Like, I like him, but he need more seasoning because one thing he don't really do, even though I like his shot selection, he not subtle. Like, he don't really disguise nothing. And you just see a guy like that and look, somebody gonna get you one day. It may not be today, it might be many months from now, or maybe a couple years from now. But because of that, if that don't change, somebody gonna get him. Because that has to change. He gotta learn how to pity pat a little more and stop throwing everything with the same cadence.
But the reason I brought it up was because it's going to be hard for him to get fights with the level of guys like a Rashidi or Rocha or Cobb because they know what's going to happen if they fight
That's
them.
true. But that's why he need to go to the PBC. If he goes, and I know it sounds crazy coming from me because I'm not big on the PBC. But let me read the super chat. They were saying nobody knows Usyk. None of his fights without AJ did numbers, and that's a lie. Saying him versus Fury is not an event of a fight like a tank fight. Americans really, listen, man. I'll tell you what, bro. I don't got time for that shit. I really don't. I don't got time for that shit. That's silly to me. That's childish to me. Like, that's childish to me. That fucking Fury versus Usyk fight is worth 10 tank fights. Literally, like in terms of dollars. And this is prize fighting, not pride fighting. That fight with them two guys is literally worth more money than like 10 Gervonta Davis fights. And it's undisputed. So as a boxing fan, you definitely shouldn't be talking about it like that. Motherfuckers just mad Wilder got his ass beat and he used to be a big contributor to the channel.
But also, they're just like the fighters they support. Like, they literally don't know what's going on because they only watch boxing twice a year. They don't know what the fuck is going on. He did like 1 million with Chisora in the UK. That's huge numbers.
Well, I don't know if he did 1 million. With you talking about Fury? I don't know about that. The number that's
I'm
out
saying
there.
Usyk is a global star.
Oh, yes, I agree with that. Because the number there's two numbers I heard: 300,000 and 500,000. 300,000 is Eddie's number. 500,000 or around it is Frank's number. Which one you want to go with is up to you. For the Fury shit. But I know AJ did over 1 million both times with motherfucking Usyk in the UK.
Yes, I did.
He did 1 million 2 times. Fucking.
And he did like Usyk did like he did like 800,000 with Tony Bellew.
They think that, this is why I always say that they're kind of living in the past. They don't realize that, the pound is worth a little more than the dollar. It has decreased in value a little bit in the last 3 years, but the pound is still worth more than the dollar. And they don't, I guess they just don't think of things in terms of money, that if what you're saying is true about a Gervonta Davis fight, then that fight would be worth more money than Usyk versus Fury, but it's not. Saudis don't care about Gervonta Davis. And you're not
Don't
going to
give
tell
a
me
fuck about
Saudis
it.
they got money. Them sheiks over there, they got money you can't even count. When the fuck you ever seen them worrying about Gervonta Davis?
They don't even know who he is.
You don't know who the fuck that is. They gonna think he Yellow Beezy.
Is that a new vehicle?
But that's American xenophobia for you, bro. It make you say stupid shit. Ain't no other way to react to that. If the fight is literally worth more in terms of dollars, any argument that says, yeah, Davis is worth more than them or Davis has better atmosphere than them, no, he don't. Because if he did, it would show up in the numbers. It would show up in the money. It's prize fighting, ain't it? It's for the biggest prize, right? Is Davis fighting for the same size pot that they is? No. So what we talking about? Talking about some old because he from the block. I don't care what block he from, fam. You're not worth the same money, then you're not a bigger star. It's that simple. Moreover, why the fuck they keep acting like he fighting people? He not even fighting the people that underneath it all you want him to fight. He not fighting the people you want him to fight. And he ain't about to. He's about to go up north.
To put this in gambling terms, bro, Gervonta's is still shooting dice while Usyk and Fury are in the blackjack table. That's
legitimately. It. Like you playing CeeLo. You playing CeeLo in the high school bathroom, bro, compared to them. They at the blackjack table. You playing CeeLo in the high school bathroom. Different.
Go fish.
For real. And I say CeeLo because I don't shoot craps. Too many ways to lose. Shit is childish. But that's just sometimes I think that some of the things that content creators say are really not necessarily intended to reflect the state of boxing, but cater to their audience. The majority of their audience is an American audience. And that's what they want to hear. They want to hear that, yeah, he's a star in America, go USA. That's what they want to hear. When in reality, boxing is shrinking in America. In case you haven't noticed, it is becoming increasingly hard to sell 500,000, let alone 1 million. Outside of Canelo, nobody in America stands a chance to sell 1 million pay-per-views outside of Canelo. That's not good. That means that you could make fights, like you could make Andre and Charlo. Does that even do 500,000 pay-per-view buys?
We know the answer.
No. You could do Wilder versus Ruiz, and I don't even think that'd do 1 million.
Hell no.
You could do that. Make
it does 400, to be honest.
That's for 350.
Yeah.
3 to 4 in the K, I'd say.
You got an unbeaten heavyweight that nobody give a fuck about. Frankie Sanchez. Who give a fuck about Frankie Sanchez? Who? Where? Frankie don't care about Frankie.
No, I mean honestly, like
him loose.
The Jules we're talking like Frank. You should be a sponsor for NyQuil products,
bro. I said it before. Like he's fucked, man, because they don't have nothing. Like Wilder ain't gonna waste his time on him. Ruiz ain't gonna waste his time on him. I don't think old man Ortiz gonna bother with him. Y'all might as well cut him loose, man. Send him somewhere because y'all don't have nothing for him to do. Y'all might as well cut him loose.
Is he even a mandatory for nothing at all?
No, that's the other thing. He's not in position for anything. Like he really in limbo. Like, bro, the guys that's in position: Daniel Dubois, WBA, Felipe Govic, IBF, Joe Joyce, WBO, Wilder, WBC. Nobody want to see Frankie win a belt. Not even the sanctioning bodies. Like, nah, we don't need him fucking up our shit. Ain't nobody want to watch him.
I don't think he does. Really I don't think he ever gets that far anyway. So
me neither. I mean, I feel like eventually they're gonna have to cut him loose, or he will try, or his management will decide, because they're not gonna keep him active enough because there's no incentive to put him on television. There's literally no incentive. There isn't a demographic that's gonna make him a star. He's not particularly entertaining to watch. He's not particularly talented to where you say, no, let's invest. And, he'll bring us a return when we get him the big fights. What big fights? Fury you probably don't even know that man exists. Usyk probably don't know that man exists. He was calling Usyk out like a couple of months ago.
I remember.
It's like, nobody want to watch that dude. So he's really fucked. Like, just whether you like him or not, that dude is really fucked. Drew says, Usyk won his gold medal and heavyweight belt in London. Safe to say it's his second home. Could we surmise to say he could headline the O2? I think he could, but it's not going to be AJ money. But if you said, let's say, Usyk versus Joyce at the O2, that does numbers.
Oh yeah.
Do you think Fury? Do you think Fury Usyk is going to happen there? Because I think Michaela Mayer kind of let the cat out the bag in a way. I think she said she might fight over there, and I'm guessing it's gonna be either that fight or Conlan Lopez.
It could be Conlan Lopez, to be honest.
She'll fight on that card.
He usually fights at home though.
That's a top ranked party, so it could be. But also they said something about, I heard that 2 days ago, that it might be in London, Usyk versus Fury. Well, in the UK, I heard 2 days ago, either a day or two days ago, might be in the UK. I don't know what's going on with the Saudis. Like, why would it not be in Saudi? But not a bad.
If it's in London, it's probably Wembley.
It got to be. They said. I think they said when did they say that shit's supposed to go down? April.
Yeah, April.
Yeah.
March, April.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of big fights, man.
Second quarter.
Garcia versus Davis.
Maybe Fury has the block hot with the whole Kinahan connection, so the Saudis
Could
might
be
not
that
want
too.
to touch him.
They might not want to touch him. That's a fair point. And one of the main contentions I've always had is that neither Frank or Bob, they don't have the relationships with those Saudis. You know what I mean? Drew was the one that said it, that Len Blavatnik, being a billionaire, is likely what helped to facilitate that relationship. You know, one billionaire knows other billionaires and they make things happen. Whereas, you know, Frank, he got some money, and Bob, they got some money, but y'all ain't billionaires. And I don't think y'all know them people like that, because I never forgot. You tried to go to the Saudis to get the money for Crawford versus Pacquiao, and you came up with nothing. They didn't want to give you no money. So Drew says, I heard that they don't want to sell the TV rights. That makes sense. They don't want the structure of the deal to be like the Joshua versus Usyk deal, that we just going to throw you a fat wad of money and you take the money, and then what we do is we flip the rights. So we sell it to Sky instead of BT, because if Sky has more money, okay, we're going to give it to them. And we might end up selling it to DAZN if DAZN puts a bid in, and then like, yeah, we want that fight, give us that fight, and they put up more money than ESPN. That makes sense. That make a lot of sense, like, because I wondered about the structure of that deal and whether or not they would go for that. That if they give you a huge site fee and they flip the rights, like now they're going to flip the rights, Sky might beat you out. And that's not bad for Top Rank, no, because they do business with Sky. But it is bad for Frank. If you can't get that fight on BT, yeah, that's bad for him. You cut out the deal, basically. You ain't providing content for your broadcast partner. And for Top Rank, while it's not bad if it were to go to Sky in the UK, it would be bad if it go to DAZN in the US. That would be bad for them. Yeah, like you lost the rights to the biggest fight you could have put on. You want Fury fighting on DAZN? I don't think so. So, might be why. That make a lot of sense. About to shoot him the link. And yeah, yo, it's a lot of news, man. The IBF is standing down. They're not pressuring Usyk to fight Hrgovic, which means Hrgovic is free to have interim fights. But because he's so close to fighting for a world title, he got to fight somebody. You know, he has to fight somebody, but not somebody dangerous. So who does he fight?
Run it back.
maybe?
You think he should run it back with Zhang? You think he'll do that?
I do. I mean, I don't think he'll do that, but I think that's because that left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. He didn't really beat that guy. You know what I'm saying?
He really beat that guy. He didn't.
You didn't. So
I picked him to win, but I know he didn't really win. But the prediction stuck, but he didn't really win. Gonna go to Villain. Couple of questions.
What's going on, gentlemen?
What up, Villain?
First question. There's a rumor out there that Golden Boy Promotions may dissolve. They're going through lots of trouble on the inside. Eric Gomez is rumored to potentially be stepping down, and Roberto Diaz is said to have already left. So if you had to choose a location, a destination for Virgil Ortiz, if Golden Boy is dissolved, where would you put him?
I would say that probably depends on what's going to happen with Spence. If Spence moves up, it probably wouldn't be bad for him to go to PBC because you won't have that log jam anymore. You can get to fight with Ennis. You can get a fight with anybody else that would be up and coming. Those belts will kind of be a free for all. If Spence decides to stick around at 147, then it's a waste of time to go to PBC because we know how that ends up. I would say probably money wise, exposure wise in the United States, probably better to go to Top Rank. Well, if you want to talk about money wise, probably go to Matchroom or the DAZN, to be honest with you.
What
Or
about?
try to sign with them?
He's already on the zone, so
Yeah, he's already on.
should be safe.
Okay. Well,
So
then,
I would think
but yeah,
this. So
I'm saying he can sign a different contract, can he? If they're going to dissolve Golden Boy.
Well, yeah, because he'd be a matchroom fighter instead of a Golden Boy fighter. He'd be a matchroom fighter.
So I guess it depends.
Honestly,
it depends on what Spence does.
no, it doesn't. Here's the thing. Virgil should go with who can guarantee him to keep him active. Because if you keep Virgil Ortiz active, he becomes the A side at 147 over all these motherfuckers, and then you got to come to him.
Fair point. That's a very fair. You see, you know what I was saying earlier? You know what I was saying earlier, Drew? As much as I don't like it because of the fights and the belts and where he is, that he's a welterweight, right? And one day he's going to move up to junior middleweight. I said he should go to the PBC.
But they're financially, they can't give him 3 fights, Jules. Here's the thing. Let's say they dissolve Golden Boy. Who do you think would clamor to throw that fucking WBO of Crawford versus Ortiz together?
Matchroom.
Exactly.
Matchroom.
Can we, or not even that? Let me pair up those Texas boys of Bam Rodriguez and Virgil, and parade them around for a year.
Ooh, that's a plan.
Let me parade them around Dallas. Let me San Antonio, Austin, 3 times a year, and build that buzz.
Yeah, what about like Virgil and Conor Benn, and then Bam and Sonny Edwards on that undercard?
Bro,
exactly.
Listen, I'm not against it. I just know Eddie not going to do that, bro. Virgil will kill Conor Benn.
Yeah, no, he won't feed. He won't feed. He wouldn't feed Conor to Virgil unless it's like he got Virgil locked up long term.
Yeah, and
no,
if
he got Virgil locked up long term, he'll feed Conor to him.
Nah, bro.
Not right away. They'll milk it, but I mean I can only see Virgil doing well with, and his manager's Rick Mirrigan, right?
Yeah.
So it's either going to be it's going to be the who can give me 3 fights. It's either Top Rank or Matchroom.
Matchroom. That's a fair point, that the activity is a factor also, not just the names, but the activity, because the other thing is what names at welterweight. If Errol's moving up, which he is, and Keith is about to, if he lose, well, Keith gonna probably be out of commission for the next 5 years. Porter retired. Danny's at 154. What names?
And that fight versus Spence now is not even at 147.
Yeah.
And then if Jermell moves up, and those belts are in limbo as well.
Yeah. So that's a fair point. Good shout. I was thinking PBC, but that does make sense that it's not even the names, because what names? It's really the activity. Who can keep him active and put money in his pocket? And the Bam angle is very good, because you could have Bam be the co-main event to him, or he could be the co-main event to Bam, because Bam is a champion and he's not. But it works. That's a nice package deal. That is a nice package deal.
It's like a gift, It's like a gift. I need Eddie on the line. Like, look, Eddie. I mean, we need 5 minutes with Eddie, Jules. It'd be fine.
Well, look, the other thing is, I was about to ask you, Roberto Diaz is a Capricorn, for those that don't know. And if he's going to stay in the sport, like, does he go to Matchroom?
You just causing trouble now, Jules.
I
know what I'm saying. Well, I don't. If I'm Roberto Diaz and I'm one of the best matchmakers in the game, why wouldn't I go to who can afford me a bigger budget?
That's true.
And because right now, Jules, who are some of the best matchmakers and scouts in the game besides Roberto, Sampson, and what's his name at fucking Top Rank? I can't.
Bruce Trampler.
Bruce Trampler. There you go. Who's better than those guys?
Nobody. But also, it's kind of like the activity argument. Who's got the most money and who can keep you working? Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. More than, like, what you gonna do? You gonna go to Sky? You gonna be in the UK? You gonna go to Sky? No, you're not gonna go to Sky, even though they got money. Eddie got money. and he got territories. So you go to Eddie.
I'm telling you, Virgil and Bam co-headlining Texas cards. Those are selling 15,000-20,000 tickets.
That's major. That's a major idea, bro. That is a like if you really did it like that, all the Texas fighters, like, and the fact. But remember that we're talking about a scenario where Golden Boy Promotions is essentially dissolved. That means all their fighters are free to roam. You put Bam, Virgil, and that Marlene girl, the unified champion. They all Texas fighters. All of them is from Texas. That's a package. That is a package.
Also, Zepeda.
William Zepeda, that's right. That's a package and a half if you really think about it. And bring
Pause.
You're a Capricorn.
Whoa.
Jules, you're a Capricorn, and you have sources, but you're not media. What does your gut tell you about Golden Boy?
My gut tells me that, well, fuck my gut. What people have already told me is that there's a mass exodus of people that have already left, and that Roberto's already gone, and that Eric is contemplating resigning, and he's the president of Golden Boy. So, I mean, the fuck, bro? So bad over there, bro. And that's what I'm being told.
That's what I'm being told. I guess Oscar's still focused on them lights out pills and not boxing.
I also been told they're looking for a buyer. That's what I've been told. They're looking. I
don't want to change the subject, but maybe you already talked about this, and I know
then don't change it.
Well, that's my polite way of saying I want to ask a question, but I don't want to fuck it up. So they're announced. I don't know if you talked about this, and if you did, I apologize. But allegedly, it's supposed to be a fight at 154 between Thurman and Spence. Now, my question to you is, and you guys are smarter than I am, if they're going to make that fight, which I think everybody saw that, why are they making the fight at 154 and not 147? Obviously, there's not any belts on the line, so he can't satisfy the WBC. What is the point of making the fucking fight? What is
okay. I'll tell you what it really is. Errol's last fight was in April of last year, and his next fight is in April of this year. Do you believe that on that kind of schedule, he can make welterweight?
No, and I don't. So, but what I don't understand is if the plan is to go up to 154, are they using this as kind of a test fight for him?
Yes, this is Danny Garcia. This is Danny Garcia versus Jose Benavidez, bringing two guys up from welterweight up to junior middle to allow one of them to acclimate. That's what this is. I figure this dude is done at welterweight, bro. He's done.
I mean, you can say if he is or isn't, but I mean, the argument can be is, Bud obviously is free. He got his fight in 2022. If he's going to fight in April, there's no reason he can't try to unify at 147 unless he just doesn't want to fight him. And
look, if we go by the cover stories, for example, you're going to end up getting confused if we all go by the cover stories because, okay, if Al Heyman's plan was to do Crawford versus Spence this year instead of last year, then why did you even go with Thurman? We're going to end up getting confused. If Thurman has been ordered by the WBC, more cover stories, then why is the WBC allowing them to do this at 154? Shouldn't Errol be stripped?
None of this makes sense to me, and that's why I'm asking the questions. And the thing is that people don't seem, other people who, I see tweets or I see posts, and no one seems to be sniffing and asking the questions. Like, this doesn't seem like basura. Like, this is trash. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
And weird. And the point that I'm making is I'm not going by the cover story. I'm looking at what the circumstances are. Thurman was last in action in February of last year. Errol was last in action in April of last year. I don't think either of you guys can make welterweight comfortably. And I don't think you're coming back to welterweight, Errol, because of what I've been saying, the proliferation of mandatory challengers. You have Boots waiting for you. Virgil's going to be waiting for you. You never really wanted that Crawford fight because you could have circumvented them with him, but you didn't. What they want to do is move you to 154. You fight Fundora. You become a 2-division champion, and you stay on the schedule that you've been on, which is already a very sparse schedule, and that's it. What this is his maiden voyage to 154. He's not coming back.
So then,
and then Jules, you know what? That goes to your point a month ago, where you're like, Jermel's not coming back to 54.
Thank you, Drew. Did not say that. I'm like, look, his last fight was at the beginning of last year, more or less the second quarter, and We don't necessarily know when he's coming back. We don't have a date. So am I to believe that after that layoff, he's going to make 154? And am I to believe that Jamal, his brother, having not fought since 2021, that when he comes back, he's coming back as a middleweight? No. Maul is moving to 68. Mel is moving to 60. Spence is moving to 54. And I've been saying that.
So
This is the most like PBC fight of all time because they're protecting their fighter, they're rotating their fighters, they're squatting the belts, they're literally doing everything. It's the most cynical and egregious type of PBC product.
They tried to hoodwink us with the cover story of, oh, well, you know, the WBC ordered it, so he has to fight him. Well, not if it's at 154. He doesn't.
147.
And this is not a real fight.
Yeah.
It's not a real title defense.
This might sound radical. This might sound radical, but I think like really like media should like black out this fight. Like fuck, like don't talk about this garbage. It's the most egregious tune-up I've ever seen in my life.
What it's even worse is that of course they put it on pay-per-view, which is like even more egregious because they're gonna force you to buy a fight that has no implications. The question too. So one last question. So then, if this happens, it's kind of a domino effect, and that opens up basically. We assume, or I'm assuming that they are going that you'll see Spence will vacate the belts. Well, that opens it all up now. For that now, the PBC. Do you think that these fights that happened, the undercard, the Ennis, and the Speedy fight, you think that had anything to do with making the decision too? Because those belts are now going to be up for grabs, and the PBC, had a monopoly on them. So what happens to 147 now? If and when we're assuming that Spence is going up to 154, what happens with the belts now? What do you?
Well, what I would say is, Spence probably won't vacate those belts until the last possible minute, just to keep up appearances. Not dissimilar from what we already saw from Demetrius Andrade, that he kept the belt until the last possible minute. That's the general practice when it comes to that. But also, I'm wondering, which I'm not sure, are they going to try to fake the funk and revisit the Crawford fight, but just for appearance's sake, or are they just going to say fuck it all together? You know what I mean?
Is there any reason that he would fight at 154 against Thurman, and then quote unquote revisit the fight in the later part of this year? Maybe.
Hold on, let me address this comment. But remember, Flame, fucking Spence said he would never fight Thurman. He said that. I don't go off shit they say because they say a lot of shit. I don't go. I go off what you doing and what are you doing? You fight.
A funny.
The only
funny
opinion
thing,
that's
Jules,
relevant here is Al's.
A funny thing, Jules, though, Roberto Diaz has been at all the Canelo fights since the breakup, anyways.
Matchroom, anyone? Matchroom?
Like you've been saying, Jules, give Roberto Diaz a budget and watch what he does.
Matchroom USA may be coming back in a very big way, because that's what I see. And I saw that you said that, Drew, that so it was either you or someone else. They said that he's been at all the Canelo fights even after he left Golden Boy. He's been at all the Canelo fights.
And some of my sources that used to be at DAZN, they said DAZN was willing to give Golden Boy more money. It's just Oscar and Eric Gomez was not handling the pitch in that meeting well enough to make DAZN confident that they would flip that money.
Look, Roberto Diaz at Matchroom to me is major. The potential of that is major. Like really though, because he has it. He's one of the good guys. He's a Capricorn, you know what I mean? So really, and that could be really big for them. That could be the key to America that they didn't have before. Really though. Imagine William Zepeda on Matchroom. If Golden Boy if all these things that I've been told are true, and they, that could be very good for Matchroom. Very good. I wonder if Eddie is privy to all of this and he sees the potential for all of this, because this could be very good for him.
Yeah, someone's gonna pick up Roberto.
I'm just telling you, if he's been at the Canelo fights, even after Canelo left Golden Boy, what do you think they were talking about? Why do you think he's there? Just to support his friend? Come on,
and he sees how the promotions are done with Matchroom, and Canelo's happy with that shit. Like, let me get in where I fit in.
I think he'll fit right in at Matchroom. That's what I think. But I think he needs to go for it.
And
But
take
also,
like I said, take Virgil with you, and then them Bam and Virgil together, tag team.
but, all right,
What was
Drew, based on what you've
what
been
was that
told,
tag team?
based on what you've been told, so you're hearing that Golden Boy might be kaput because that's what I'm hearing.
I've got confirmed about people I know that work there that are no longer working there. Besides Roberto Diaz, that Roberto left. I mean, other people I heard that worked there got let go.
Yeah, I heard that.
And what I was saying, like, you could have Virgil and Bam could be like Tito Santana and Rick Martel, the tag team.
They could be like the Legion of Doom, bro.
Yes.
Be like the Legion of Doom. Boxing Combat Film says, Jules, I have a feeling they're going to have Errol vacate all the belts after the Thurman fight. Then Al might have Boots pick up those 3 belts and protect Boots from the Virgil and Bud Crawford smoke. I think, look, remember that Boots is not a Heyman fighter, but that doesn't mean he can't become one. So I don't dismiss that possibility. As his next golden goose, sort of, because he's really not a draw, but he might try. You know what I mean? So I don't rule that out. But also remember that the only belt he's really in line for is the IBF. The BA is probably going to end up going to Virgil. The BA. The BC, I don't really know. I got to see who's in their ranks to know who's behind Thurman. Who's behind there? Is it Conor Ben? Is it somebody else? Who's behind him? Because whoever's behind him is going to be in position to pick it up if it's vacant.
So you think ultimately, just to close out what I was saying, you think ultimately, is there any chance, and again, it's speculation, let's say he fights Thurman, let's just hypothetically he dominates Thurman at 154, is there any chance at a last gasp, but later in the year, that he'll try to revisit the Crawford fight before he finally moves up? Or does he just say, fuck it, and move up and the belts get dispensed?
I believe if I just go with my gut and my cynicism,
that's all I'm asking for.
That he's going to vacate, bro. Irrespective of the show, because I don't rule out the possibility that they'll try to put up a smoke screen. They're good for the smoke screens. But in reality, you know what I've been saying. I believe it is their intention to do Spence versus Fundora. That's what they're doing. They didn't have Fundora fight Ocampo of all people for no reason. That was a litmus test to see, okay, if we put Spence in there with Fundora, how will he do? What we're going to do is we're going to put him in there with a common opponent, and we'll base it on that. And in their mind, because they're idiots, they're looking at how Fundora looks against Ocampo, not realizing Spence fight is a very different fight.
Yeah.
Because who are they going to have? Who are they going to have Jermell fight at 160 then?
Carlos Adames.
Ooh, that's a good fight though.
I like that fight.
I like that fight.
The Fundora fighting Lubin was kind of more of a litmus test to see who they're going to groom to eventually fight Spence. I think that was a separation. And once Fundora won that, I think what you said was correct. They put him against a common opponent.
You know what we're watching though?
What's that?
We're watching that Great Reset.
Yeah. Literally.
All these there's dudes. The Korean Kosel told me there's dudes turning down 6-figure tune-up paydays because it's not 7.
It's on its way. It's on its way. Because when those dudes see, when them bills start to creep up on them same dudes, and they start to feel a pinch, and they start cursing out their managers, and they start getting restless, that's when the Great Reset gonna start.
And then the promoters, like remember Jules, when Nicholas Walters priced himself out of the Loma fight in the beginning, and then came back, and he had to take less. He had to take less.
Well, to add to that,
Ellaby was the first domino to fall.
To add to what you guys are saying, they're also talking about we're already in a recession, okay? And that's for the common person. There's going to be an issue where it's going to get even worse. So if these guys want to get more picky, the problem is that you understand the first thing that goes when people don't have money is going to be entertainment.
Yep.
So again,
disposable income.
Less disposable income for entertainment means less guarantees or less money. So these dudes need to realize they need to be watching what's going on, globally, if not the United States, about what's going on with their economy. Because again, that's the first thing that goes: people spending money outside of necessities.
Well, also look at this. That portion of it already started because look at the gate receipts. Look at the pay-per-view buys. They're down more than they've ever been.
I'm gonna.
It's never been this bad. It's never been this bad.
What I'm saying, it's going to get even worse this year. From what everything's projecting, we're already in a recession. Just because our government won't claim it, just because the administration won't say we're in a recession,
we're in a recession.
All the metrics. You're right. All the metrics show that we are in one.
Correct.
We're in a recession.
But they claim that we're not. You do understand that if you watch the news, they're saying, "Oh no, we're not in a recession." Though they've actually changed the meaning of the words of recession. They've actually changed the definition of it. We're in a recession.
Yeah, they're just trying to keep appearances.
Of course, but this year's supposed to get even worse. I mean, it's supposed to be even worse. So that's going to affect, honestly, disposable income more so than anything with people.
Fellas, have you ever noticed how? Hold on, real quick. Have you ever noticed how you watch like these boxing shows, these television productions of these cards, right? And they rarely show like crowds in the upper seats, like in the nosebleed section.
Yes.
That's not. Yeah, they curtain it off.
Bro, the open workouts for Tank versus Hector Garcia was at a fucking high school gym. Like I saw Boots shadow boxing. There was a basketball hoop behind him. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, it's a little tight.
Hey, look, I don't know if you heard about this, Joe. I'm on my LinkedIn right now, and I'm connected with Joe Markowski. They just announced a 5-year deal with Misfits.
Oh, I know about. I read about that earlier.
What I'm saying, like I bet you Misfits getting more money than Golden Boy.
Yo, they sold close to 500,000 pay-per-view buys in the UK. Close to 500,000. Cali Mexican, this question is for y'all because I have to maintain a professional etiquette, so I cannot answer this question. The question we all want to know is, who do the boys prefer, Amanda Serrano, Senicia Estrada, or Alicia Baumgart?
Well, you know my answer.
Alicia Baumgart.
Hello.
Hey,
gentlemen. Black is truly beautiful.
I know. So is Asian. But I'm a fan of Superbad. I like the way she fights. Wink, wink. You know?
I like them all, but y'all know I got to go with AB. Sorry.
This is about preference, so don't sit on the fence. I cannot answer the question because I have to maintain a professional etiquette. But
Understandable. That's my answer. I think everybody else will agree with me.
Yeah.
So everybody's in agreement. Y'all all prefer Alicia.
Yes.
I am not going to answer that question.
Yes, you are, Drew. Yes, you are, Drew. You better tell us.
I'm going to go.
I'm just going to stay.
Yes, you are.
You're dying.
I am refraining from answering that question.
All right. No. All right. If that's
how do you see your fight going with Mechaled?
Points. Decision.
Points. Mechaled is better than she's given credit for. She was able to go 10. She was able to go the distance with Pursoon. And we know how Pursoon get down. So Alicia's a little bit more. Who mic is that?
Somebody crumpling chips?
Yeah, word.
I agree she's better than giving credit for, but I think AB is going to tear that high guard apart.
My thing is this. AB throws hard shots, but they're single shots. So, you know what I mean? She's not going to throw punches in bunches like Pursoon. So, for that, I'm like, at minimum, she wins a decision. It's not like Mechaled's ever been knocked out. It's not like she's chinny or fragile. She went the distance with Pursoon. Points.
Now,
is Alicia going to be dominant? Yeah, I believe she's going to be dominant, but I do have her winning a points decision. I do.
Now, if Alicia goes above and beyond and stops her, then Eddie should give her a fight bonus of the night.
Yeah. Like if she scores a knockout, that would be great. To win undisputed with a knockout, like Jermell did, which I liked a lot. He won undisputed with a knockout. I love that.
So did the Nui.
Exactly. That's in keeping with the decorum that
Canelo
win.
Canelo too as well.
So
yep.
she's fighting on the same card as Amanda. Do you think that's a possibility? Like, do you think this is a wink, wink?
Wait, say that again. She's fighting on the same card as who?
As Amanda. Do you think that's like this is like a setup for that in the future?
Yes. You want my honest opinion? Yes.
Really?
I'm gonna tell. I talked about that fight. A couple of weeks ago, and I said this: if Amanda, which I don't rule it out because we have answers now, we have answers that cannot be refuted. Amanda can hurt Katie Taylor. She can. I love Katie. Y'all know that, but she can hurt her. And if she beats her in a rematch, what's the next logical step?
Trilogy, I guess.
Alicia.
And I'll tell y'all, the way I see it, Alicia has the style to give Amanda some serious problems.
Yeah.
Because styles make fights. Alicia has the combination of good feet, movement, changing levels, and power in single shots. She doesn't need to be on you throwing 3 and 4 punches to hurt you. She could throw one punch that'll get your attention and then get out of there, get back on her defense. That style for Amanda creates problems because Amanda, she's a great fighter. I think she's a great fighter, but movement bothers her. You know, fighters that are going to move. If you want to war with her, she's going to hurt you. But if you move, change levels, you know what I'm saying, get out of there, move lateral, pivot, it could be very difficult for her. So Alicia has an opportunity in that scenario to become the face of the sport. The face of the sport. Not Clarissa, not Savannah, not nobody. Alicia. That would in that scenario where the queen has fallen, Katie has lost, motherfucking Serranio is undisputed at light, which would be major for her. I would not be mad. I would be happy for her if she does it. That would be major for her. But then the logical fight you have to make, because you need to keep the sport going and you need the best ambassador possible. That's Alicia.
Yeah, the battle for the face of that sport of women's boxing is going to be between Alicia and Senicia.
Yeah. Honestly, it's between them. You know what I mean? And it's a more winnable fight than people realize for Alicia. It's just that, you know, styles make fights. She has the right style for Amanda. She does. She really does. Like, she has the right set of ingredients for that fight. Does it happen though? I feel like you would have to give Amanda a lot of money. And I feel like Alicia, she's gonna have to bite the bullet one more time. Like, I'll be the B-side. I don't care. I'll be the B-side. I'll do it. Because what's on the other side of this fight is everything.
Yeah, because once I take the B-side for this and I win, ain't no B-side no more. It's just
ain't
A.
no B-side no more.
It's just A all the way.
Yeah, I mean, like the being the B-side to Terry was the first step. Being the B-side to Michaela, the second step. The B-side in that scenario, that's like the future, bro. That's like everything after that. Like, this is the face of the sport. And what better face? What better fighter? Knows how to talk, looks the part, fights the part. There's not a lot of girls that can beat Alicia. In fact, I don't think I could name 10 girls that could beat Alicia.
No.
And I know all of them at or around those weights.
I think I can name 5.
It's not that many. You know what I mean? So, and then, you know, her fight with Michaela, her rematch, in a scenario like that, it only gets bigger because you know what people are going to tell themselves? Damn, Amanda beat Katie, and Alicia beat Amanda. Michaela came close. That's what they're going to tell themselves, which is what's going to drive the fight. They're like, yo, we really need that fucking rematch because this is like, this is the shit.
I think if anyone ever beats Alicia, it's gonna be the size, because like she's small for 130, dude. Like even Sky Nicholson said it, like she's bigger than her and she fights a weight class above.
Yeah, it would be the size before anything. Like, but do I see anyone right now at 140 that I would pick to beat Alicia? The closest is Chantel, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's not like I would comfortably pick. No, nah. That's a very close fight. Very close. Now, that Brazilian girl, she's a bad motherfucker. Very
What's
bad.
her name? Green, bro. She's green, though.
What's her name again?
Beatrice Ferreira.
Ferreira, yes. I saw her. She's nice. I like her.
She is, like in time, she is a fucking weapon, bro. She is a fucking weapon. And the super fight for her, obviously, is going to be Carolyn. Her and Carolyn, people going to die in the crowd. They're going to die in the crowd.
I think Sky might end up being her rival.
They're both light.
No, it won't be Sky. That fight is all wrong for Sky, bro. That fight is all no. Sky eventually will become the heir apparent to featherweight. And Sky's super fight is going to be her old buddy, Karis Ardingstall. There's going to be 3 queens at featherweight. You'll see. It's going to be Raven. It's going to be Karis. And it's going to be Sky. Out of all of them that I see, the one with the highest ceiling, coincidentally, is the Capricorn, Raven, because she has a little bit of both. The only thing that separates her is, well, you decided to go to Queensbury, of all places, right? Karis and Sky have history, and if certain things have to change about Sky that have not changed yet, you will not beat Karis with that same old style. She'll beat you again. She beat you before, she'll beat you again. If you don't learn how to fight on the inside and be aggressive and assertive, she'll beat you again because she is all those things. She does hit hard. She is aggressive, those good straight punches. She's just as athletic as you are and fast. So Scott got work to do.
Let's get some knockouts on her record.
Scott got work to do, but there's going to be 3 heads at featherweight. It's going to be a 3-headed monster. The fighter that I think has the highest ceiling, I'm not saying it because she's a Capricorn, I'm just being honest, is Raven. Because she can do both. She can do the things they do, but she can do things they don't do. Like, Karis is good with the straight shots, but mid-range to inside, you're very messy. Mid-range to inside, Raven is a fucking animal. You know what I mean? She has all the aggression that Scott don't have, but she has the mobility that Scott does have. So, you know, that's my pick. That's my favorite fighter at 126. But we'll see.
By the way, Jules, do you see this scenario playing out like, so we know in February next month, Amanda and Alicia, if they win their fights, they'll be undisputed. Then Amanda goes into the rematch with Katie. Then do you see the winner of that fight fighting Alicia next?
Yes. Irrespective of whether it's Katie or Amanda, because if Eddie really wanted to make the Chantel fight, he wouldn't place so much emphasis on the Serrano fight. For obvious reasons, he wants that to be next. And I like Chantel. It's not that I don't. And it's not even that it's not a big fight. It would be a decent-sized fight if Chantel fought Katie. But it's not Amanda Serrano. They delivered. That was a movie. That was a Rocky movie they delivered. So you don't decide that, like, yeah, we're going to do the Chantel instead of Serrano. No, you got to do the Serrano. If Katie wins, I could see her fighting Alicia. If she loses, all right, then it's going to become about Alicia and Amanda. Now, I don't know what Amanda would decide to do. I don't know if Amanda would say, yeah, fuck it, I'll fight her. Because
you don't think they do a trilogy if Amanda wins?
It's possible, but it depends on how Katie. If we talk about a scenario where Katie actually loses, what we then got to look at is how does she lose? Is she brutally knocked out?
Well, that's the only way she can. That's the only way she is going to lose that.
I mean, if Amanda wins, it's going to be interesting because, like, if she does choose to fight Alicia, what weight will the fight take place at? Will she challenge Alicia for her belts, or will Alicia move up to like 135?
That's a good point, but I think that Alicia would elect to move up to 135. I think she would elect to do that.
Right. Because
what the fuck am I going to stay here for if the belts is up there and the big fight is up there? What the fuck am I going to stay here for trying to make this weight?
Yeah. Because she could then, if she moves up to 135, she has another chance to become undisputed in another weight class, just like Amanda.
It's going to be a 3-headed monster at featherweight. And the super fight that I'm really, because it's just people going to die. Like I said, it's going to be people in the audience watching the fight that die from how good the fight is. It's Ferreira versus Carolyn Dubois. People going to die. They're going to die watching that shit because Carolyn is a goddamn monster.
By the way, Jules, like you KO with your awards for last year, women's KO of the year. Who was that? That wasn't Ferreira, was it? It was
KO of the year was her name is
you put her in the intro. You put her in the intro for one of your vids.
Yeah, that's Nazarena Romero of Argentina, unbeaten fighter, super bantamweight. She's down there with Ellie Scottney, Shernika Johnson. That's 122 essentially, the division above Ebony Bridges division.
Got you. Okay.
And she's a fucking animal. She's a fucking animal, bro.
Yeah, I saw her.
She got more knockouts just like that one. Like she really be fucking destroying people. So she's one to watch out for. But the limitation with a fighter like that is the cadence. You throw all your punches the same way. Somebody is gonna figure you out if that don't change. Because you literally throw all your punches with the same cadence. That's gonna work for a while. But eventually somebody going to figure out, yo, I know the speed on these punches. I can get around this because I know exactly how you're going to throw it.
Yeah, it's going to work. It's going to work till it doesn't.
It's going to work till it doesn't. You can't fight every fight that way. That's why Richard Comey, who I love Richard Comey, but that's always been his limitation. You throw all your punches the same way. So sooner or later, somebody going to figure that shit out. It's gonna be very good. Mark Jones, I know, bro. I know, and I'm big on I'm very big on Chantel. Don't get it twisted, but I don't know why she hasn't taken off yet. I just don't understand why. She's got the talent, you know what I mean? She's a good fighter and she's fun to watch. I just don't know why marquee wise she hasn't taken off yet. I really don't.
Well, does she really have much of a personality?
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. She got the Katie Taylor thing going on that you a woman of very few words. And outside of when you have a fight, people don't really see you like that. So, it's going to have an effect. I wonder what Terry Harper going to do. I wonder what she going to do.
No, is she staying in junior? Like, what's going on? Like,
I mean, Mary Spencer got her ass whooped. They ain't got to worry about her no more. Don't got to worry about
I
her.
hope she can come back because she's exciting and she's good for women's boxing.
No, I think she'll be fine, bro. Like losing to Femke, if Natasha Jonas could come back from that knockout to Obanov, and it was violent. Like I invite all of y'all, just go back and watch that shit.
I saw it.
She got bodies. She got bodies on her record, like real bodies.
For real, she the Super Matias of the shit, bro. And if Natasha could come back from that, Mary could come back from Femke. I think Mary's problem is what I just described. You throw your punches with the same cadence. You're not disguising them. You rushed Femke, and when she realized that, she started countering the shit out of her. And she's just not used to that, you know what I mean? She got to really get on your jab, yo. Get on your jab and learn to disguise your punches. Because you got good punches. She has really good shot selection. But you got to disguise them. Because if you throwing knockout punches all the time, that's bad. That's going to backfire. That means
she got to rely on her power.
Yeah, and you can't really I don't blame her because it's like, well, look, she fought some fighters that ain't ever even been knocked out. She knocked their ass out. She knocked Lozano out, made it look easy. So of course you're gonna be confident off of that. And Femke, it's like, bro, I thought Femke was gonna get annihilated. That was the exact opposite of what happened. So it just is what it is, B. But she could rebound, though. I do believe she could rebound. I would like to see her run it back.
Did she get a rematch? That's what I was about to say.
I would like to see her run it back with her. But if you're Femke and now you're in line to potentially fight for a belt, why would you want to run it back with Mary?
Because that was for the IBO belt, wasn't it?
Well, fuck the IBO. By way of
but that's the fake belt that was on the line.
Yeah, but fuck that shit. Like she has a good rank now. Like she has a good rank. Like she's in line for Natasha. She's in line for Terry. So if you Femke, unless y'all finna offer me a lot of money, I'm not running shit back, bro. I'm trying to get one of them in the ring. So it is what it is. But I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch. I wouldn't. I don't know if we're gonna see that, but I'm gonna be real with you. Hermans, this is for Kelvin. Hermans versus Jonas is a closer fight than Hermans versus Harper. There's a chance that Natasha beats her. I feel there's a slightly better chance that Terry beats her because Terry's a little faster, and we all know she's younger. So the youth is what helps it, that she can carry that weight, she could take a shot, and it's better for her. She feels more healthy. She feels more solid at 54. Whereas with Tasha, the last time I seen her, Marie-Eve Dicaire is not no power puncher. And she is normally not no physical fighter. But she was getting physical with Natasha, and Tasha looked tired in that fight. Like it was getting to her. So,
because Jules, one thing I wanted to ask you, and I know my answer, but based on that, if Harper, we know they're not now, but if Harper and Jonas run it back at 54, I got Terry. Do you?
I'm not going to root against Natasha Jonas, and that's all I got to say about that.
Okay, I get it.
I'm going to enjoy the fight and may the best woman win, but I'm not rooting against nobody. I like them both. I've been fans of them both for a very long time.
Me too. Same thing. Me too. I thought she won the first fight. If I'm being honest, I didn't think it was a draw. I thought she won the first.
I had a draw, bro, and I legitimately scored it live. That fight was close. They both hurt each other. They both was good. So I had a draw, bro. But you know what I mean? It is what it is. But I don't know if they're gonna ever even do that fight. For whatever reason, Tasha and her trainer, they don't feel like giving her the satisfaction. So it is what it is. A lot of things going on. A lot of things. All right, on that note, gentlemen, I'm going to end the live early tonight. This weekend, is there a fight this weekend?
I don't think so.
No fight at all. Not in the afternoon and not in the evening.
Give me a sec. Let me find out.
I know it's one on the 21st, obviously. It's definitely one on the 21st, but it's not a fight this week, you sure? Oh, wait, I know what I'm thinking about. It is a fight this week. That's
we got Kim Cavell on Friday.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. I'm like, I know it's at least one fight this week.
Oh, yeah, in the jog book. Yeah, the top rank card.
Yeah, the Jagba fights.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that fight. I'm going to go live for that fight. I am going to go live for that fight.
Sure.
Gentlemen, I will see y'all on the next one.
All right.
Everybody have a good evening. Take care of yourself, guys.
Yeah, take care.
Peace out, guys.